This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. This video is brought to you by First Detachment Nutrition. Battle tested, expert formulated. Use discount code AB10 at checkout for 10% off. Hey guys, Big Paul here today with my off-season check-in. I just finished up week 11. Getting back into the groove of things after having pneumonia, which fucked me up for 3+ weeks. Pneumonia and the flu. I started with the flu and then developed into pneumonia and really set me back. But I feel like I'm finally kind of getting back to normal. So this week was just a normal week of training minus Thanksgiving and all that shit that went along with it. But we'll dig into all that in just 1 second. All right, so my vitals for this week. I lost a ton of weight while I was sick. I know I talked about it in my previous videos. If you haven't seen them, I dropped something. My daytime weight was up over 280 before I got sick, and my fasted weight was up in the 270s, like 273, 274, something like that. So I've dropped a bunch of weight and slowly creeping back up. It's been hard getting the weight back on for whatever reason. I've been pounding the food. And Justin had me doing extra high days, and it's just not coming back on that fast. I did move up to 265 this week from 262, but it seems like now, like if I go any days where I miss food, I just lose weight. I have to be constantly jamming food down or I lose weight. And at Thanksgiving, most people overeat on Thanksgiving. What ends up happening, like if I eat a shit meal, which I really didn't. I ate pretty clean on Thanksgiving. I didn't get all my food in, mainly because I was traveling all day, and then the stuff that you eat sits heavy in your stomach. I went to my parents, and then I had to take my kids back to their mothers, and then I went to my girlfriend's house, and so I ended up missing 2 meals that day. So I lost some weight on Thanksgiving. Everybody else is getting fat. I lose weight. So like I guess my body's just a furnace right now, and I have to keep the food shoveled in. I really struggle with food in the off season. I know a lot of people talk about contest prep being hard. I honestly look forward to dieting when it's time to diet, because I hate eating. I get tired of eating, and I think people underestimate how much eating you have to do to maintain size, especially once you get up above 240, 250 pounds. It gets to be a chore to eat the amount of food that you need to maintain that type of weight, and I think a lot of young guys underestimate that and don't get that part of the bodybuilding thing. They want to lift weights, they want to take PEDs, but they don't want to lift or eat. They don't want to eat a ton of food. Anyway, so I'm back up to 265, not where I was before, but I'm working my way back up. I'm 6'2". Everybody always asks how tall I am. I'm around 6'2". I don't know, somewhere in that neighborhood. My blood pressure has been great. 118 over 79. It's just sort of settled in. It always goes up when I first start my cycles. It's one of the reasons why I slowly escalate my doses, is to cut down on the side effects. I don't want to push the doses too fast and end up with some really nasty side effects. So yeah, it's great right now. Fasted glucose is in a great spot too. I mean, it's been in the low 90s. I'm 100% back from the pneumonia, outside of the normal fall allergies that I get. I don't know if you hear me breathing hard or whatever. And my nose being stuffed up, that's just normal fall allergies. I did get my CPAP machine. I will tell you that. That did come in. Finally, after battling, I'm on my 2nd week of it, and I have only made it through 1 full night without ripping the fucking mask off. I have tried the CPAPs before, and that's my issue with it. Is granted, this new mask is better than the stuff that the old machines were. It's a It's very comfortable, but I don't know. I end up ripping it off in my sleep. I don't even remember doing it. I looked at the logs on the machine, and I'll make it like halfway through the night, and I take it off at some point. I don't even know when I fucking take it off. One night I did make it all the way through. I have noticed that with the CPAP that definitely has helped bring my blood pressure down. A lot of times when you have uncontrolled blood pressure or high hematocrit, that's another thing that guys don't know. That can be exacerbated by sleep apnea. A lot of times when I see guys that have really, really high hematocrit and can't get it down, they have really bad sleep apnea. Just something to keep in mind if you do have really high hematocrit. Health, like I said, back from the pneumonia, my shoulder has been bothering me. I tore my labrum last fall, doing pull-ups of all things. It's a weird tear. The doctor told me it was a really weird tear. It's in the back of my shoulder. So like things like shoulder presses and stuff don't really bother me, but pulling motions do sometimes. I was just warming up, swinging my shoulder around like this last weekend before doing pull downs, and my shoulder popped out of socket, and then it's been fucking sore all week. And that's the problem with the torn labrum. The labrum's like a suction cup that holds the shoulder in the socket, and then when that gets teared, it loses suction to hold it in there, and then sometimes your shoulder will pop out of socket. And if it repeatedly does that causes damage to the shoulder over a period of time. So that's something to be mindful of with labrum tears. The doctor wanted to do surgery on me a year ago. I said no, because I was trying to win my show and trying to get into nationals, and now I'm going to do nationals. Also, a friend of mine who's an exercise physiologist told me that the failure rates on labrum tear surgeries are pretty high. So I've been trying to my best to work my way around it. This is another thing for you people out there that have injuries and problems in the gym. You can work around just about anything if you're creative. I've had to get creative with my workouts. I'm not doing everything like I have on my paper my workout that I give away for free on my website. That's another thing. If you guys want to go to anabolicbodybuilding.com, you can download my workout for free. It is up there. But I'm not doing all the exercises that are on there because I have to work around my shoulder. Progress pics this week. I think I actually got leaner while I was sick. I'm definitely fuller this week, looking a little bit fuller. I know it's hard. Everybody tells me to shave the body hair. I'm just too lazy to shave the fucking body hair in the off season. I'm a big old gorilla. I'm just embracing it. It's part of the off season. But I still have abs. I mean, you can sort of see them here through the hair. You can see the outline of my abs. That's my rule for the off season. If I get to the point where I can't see abs at all, then I've gotten too fat. If I start having rolls of fat, I've gotten too fat. I like to be able to see a little bit of separation in my legs. That's sort of my cutoff for where I have gotten too fat. You can see here from the side, you can still see some separation in my glutes. I carry my fat in my back typically. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm like leaning to the left. I probably caught myself mid-pitcher. But I carry my fat in my lower back. Usually is where I carry it. Diet, no changes this week on the diet. So low day, I am doing 360 grams of protein. Somewhere it's around 1.25 grams per pound. It's ballpark. Carbs are 360 as well. Added fats are 84. Just a reminder, these are added fats. These are not counting the fats that are in the meats. I try to eat meat as lean as possible. I generally eat 95% lean ground beef, 99% chicken breast, and cod. That's pretty much, those are exclusively my protein sources. Most days it's just chicken and beef. And then the 14 grams of fat is added fats from EFAs. Usually I do olive oil, nut butters, guacamole or avocado. Those are usually what I use for my added fats. Medium days right now are any non-high days, or any non-high days that are also training days. So, Right now, protein, I'm doing 340 grams of protein, 600 grams of carbs on my medium days, and 40 grams of added fat. My high days are 290 grams of protein. We do around a gram per pound on the high days because we're eating more carbs, and carbs are protein sparing. 1,000 grams of carbs, 290 grams of protein, 0 added fat. Now, that last meal on the high day can be a cheat meal. I have been taking, usually I'll just, this is terrible, but my go-to cheat meal this year, for whatever reason, I love double Whoppers, and I'll just go get a double Whopper from Burger King. Hold the mayonnaise, because the mayo really serves no purpose. Usually I just get a plain double Whopper with cheese. One, I don't get fries or a drink or anything with it, and that's what I eat. It's around 1,000 calories. It's not even, I don't know, it's a little more fat than what I probably should be eating, but that's what I've been doing for my cheat meals most of the time. Or kebabs. Sometimes I'll get kebabs from this Afghan restaurant near my house. Current PEDs. I did up my doses this week. I upped my test to 750 from 500 milligrams. I upped my EQ to from 300 to 450 milligrams. I upped my Primo from 400 to 600 milligrams. So you're looking at a total load here of about 1.8 grams is where I'm at right now. To be honest with you, this is the highest I've ever run in an off season. I've never gone this high before. Last winter, I think I maxed out around 1.3 grams. I may even push it up a little bit further. But that's the most I've ever done in an off season. I'm doing 8 units of generic Blue Top GH right now. 80 milligrams of telmisartan. I was using X-Forge for a while, ran out of it, switched back to the telmisartan, and my blood pressure's been holding just fine. That's the nice thing. I really like running Primo. I'm gonna take a step back here, and I try to run it at almost somewhere close to a 1-to-1 ratio or slightly less than 1-to-1 ratio with my test. And I have noticed when I do that, I don't need an AI, and my estrogen stays nice and low, and I stay very dry. I don't need any AI, and I don't get bloated and stuff like I do when I run Nandrolone. Like last year I ran Nandrolone, I was pretty puffy. I don't have the fat face like I did last year. I'm not all puffy and bloated like I was last year. Humalog on the high days as needed. I just let my glucose levels dictate when I need the Humalog, and 25 units of Lantus pre-bed. People always freak out. You take insulin before bed, you're going to die. Lantus is a 24-hour insulin. Now, granted, you're not getting, it's sort of peaks and it peters out over the period of time. But if you kind of do the math and average it out over a 24-hour period, you're only getting like something like 2 units per hour. And your body constantly has a baseline of insulin running in the background. And if you look at the manufacturer's instructions on it, it says to take it before bed. You can take it whenever you want, really. It's a 24-hour insulin. So if you take it in the morning, it's still going to be in your system when you go to bed. I 100% would not take Humalog before bed. That would be monumentally stupid. But the basal insulin, you can. Short and medium acting insulins do not take before bed. Basal insulin, you can. I know a lot of guys take it in the morning, which is fine. You can take it, but it's 24-hour insulin. It's going to be in your system for 24 hours. Current health supplements for glucose management. I am taking 1,500 milligrams of berberine per day. I use Suppressor from First Detachment Nutrition. The nice thing with Suppressor is it already has the fenugreek in it to help with absorption, and a lot of people talk about how berberine's not bioavailable. The fenugreek will help with that. For general health, I take a whole food multivitamin, vitamin C, 5,000 milligrams of vitamin D, or 5,000 units of vitamin D. Sorry, not milligrams. Cardiovascular health, I'm taking 3,000 milligrams of fish oil every day. CoQ10, niacin, citrus bergamot. I think I'm taking 3,000 milligrams of citrus bergamot. I need to look. And a baby aspirin. I know it's funny. Like I had dudes tell me, "Oh, you can't take baby aspirin. That shit's awful for you." And these are the same guys that'll take Tren that's made in somebody's fucking bathtub and they're worried about blood pressure medicine and aspirin. I don't know. You tell me which is a bigger risk, but I use the aspirin to kind of help mitigate clotting risk. Same thing with the fish oil. For liver, I take Tucka milk thistle, NAC. I use QRF from First Detachment Nutrition that has all three of them in it. And for kidney, I use astragalus and some other stuff. I use First Detachment's Renal Assist. I have a discount code for First Detachment Nutrition. It's AB10. It's in the link below in the video description if you want to get on board with that. RX meds, actually I reduced my metformin down to 1,000 milligrams. It's not at 1,500 anymore. 1,500 just absolutely destroyed my appetite. I didn't want to eat, so I'm trying to get my appetite in a better place. So I upped that, or dropped that down to 1,000 milligrams. Telmisartan, 80 milligrams per day. I get a lot of guys that tell me, like doctors are starting them off on 20 milligrams of telmisartan. I don't think 20 milligrams does shit. I don't know. It's just been my experience. And pantoprazole, this is another one that bros flip out on and tell me, oh my God, you can't take that stuff. It's awful for you. I will tell you firsthand, I know of 2 people that have died from esophageal cancer from uncontrolled acid reflux. So I think I'd rather take my chances with the pantoprazole than with esophageal cancer from acid reflux. And most bodybuilders that I know that are power shoving food are dealing with acid reflux, and a lot of times that sphincter in the stomach that goes up the esophagus isn't closing all the way, and dudes also have hiatal hernias. I have a hiatal hernia, and I get people lecturing me how I shouldn't be taking pantoprazole. My gastroenterologist disagrees with you, armchair physicians. And also, once again, I reiterate, these are the same dudes that have no problem taking crazy SARMs and Tren that's made in some dude's bathtub in Guadalajara. They're okay with that one, but God forbid you take pantoprazole for your acid reflux or blood pressure medicine. That's going to kill you. Training. My current training split is the same as it's been for the last 2 years. I am doing a modified version of a Renaissance periodization program if you want to check those out. Like I said, I have a copy of my program up on my website if you want to download a free copy. Also, check out Dr. Mike Israetel stuff on the Renaissance Periodization website. I have no affiliation with them. I just love Dr. Mike's stuff. His training makes the most sense to me. That's what I'm running right now. Rep scheme, nothing to failure. I mean, people all the time poo-poo it. As I said, don't take anything. They mistake not going to failure for not training hard. I trust me. My workouts are plenty hard. Ask any of my trainees that have done my workouts, and when they hit peak volume, ask them if it's hard. You can try the program out yourself, and when you hit peak volume, you let me know if you think it's easy. I do 10 to 12 reps on compounds and 15 to 20 reps on isolation movements. Cardio, 15 minutes of HIIT cardio 3 times per week. I'll be honest, I always slack on the fucking cardio. I need to get better with doing it. I need to do more cardio. Plans and thoughts. Diet adherence this week. I think everybody fucked up on Thanksgiving. I fucked up on Thanksgiving. I didn't eat bad. I just didn't get all my food in. I skipped the dessert. I had a little bit of cake. I ate a few bites of some cake. My daughter had half her cake left over, half her slice of cake left over when we went to see my parents, and I ate the other half. So, but I kept it to just meat and potatoes at both Thanksgiving dinners. But because I was traveling all day, I ended up missing meals, which has been my problem. I can't keep weight on if I miss meals. Coach's feedback, he said he wants me to get, Justin wants me to get back up to 270. We might push the food more and see how things go from there. I'm working on it. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you. Thank you for watching. For coaching or consultations, head over to www.anabolicbodybuilding.com to book your spot today. I can help you with optimizing hormones, fat loss, muscle gain, physique, athletic performance, nutrition, and health. For more information, shoot me an email at bigp3rd@gmail.com.